Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and today I want to show you how you can do a real-time Bitcoin prices streaming, and then after that we are going to plot a 1-minute candlestick chart. So the candlestick chart that you see here will update every 1 minute, and on the left hand side you can see that we have the real-time Bitcoin streaming message coming in. So you can see that we have a new dictionary every time there is every 1 minute, and then we are going to update the open, high and low prices in that 1 minute, and then after the 1 minute we are going to give it a closing price, and then we are going to start a new dictionary to collect open, high, low prices. So this is going to continue as long as there is new message coming in from a Bitcoin streaming, and then this candlestick chart is just going to create a 1 minute chart as long as we have data feeding in through our Websocket. So I got the this idea from this Hacking the Market GitHub repository, and this guy called Larry, he shows on the YouTube video on how we can stream the real-time Bitcoin data. So it's easy and straightforward, and I'm going to use the code taught by him, and then I'm going to do some minor modification in order to feed the data into the Matplotlib animation function, so that we will have the 1 minute candlestick chart that is being plotted every time we have a new 1 minute data feeding in. So I'm going to show you how you can do that real quick, and yeah. So what I need to do is to first I'm going to close this, and then I'm also going to close this, and then we are going to look at the Coinbase Pro API reference. So in this documentation, it shows you that we can actually use this WebSocket endpoint, and then after that you can select the product, or for example the Bitcoin prices in US dollar, which is the product that we want to look at today. So we are also going to use the WebSocket client. So everything is super easy, and I'm just going to show you how to do that real quick. So first just go to any IDE that you want to use, and then so firstly we need to import the WebSocket client Python package. So import WebSocket, and then we are going to import JSON as well, and then we want to use pandas library. And then I'm going to also import datetime, because we want to change datetime from a data object to a string later. So I import datetime, and then from datetime import datetime and time delta. And I will show you why we need to use time delta later, but for the moment just import the package. And then also one more package that we want to import is import that util.parcel, because we want to pass the date type object later. And then the next thing that we want to do is to copy the WebSocket address endpoint. Copy and paste, and then we need to define a function called onOpen, and in this onOpen function we're going to print connection is opened, and then we're going to dump a subscribe message to the WebSocket to get some feedback from there. So subscribe message is equal to the type will be subscribe, and then the channel is array, and then inside the array we have the dictionary. In this case our name will be the title, and then our product IDs will be the Bitcoin in US dollar. So everything is in this documentations. We can look for product ID. Yeah, everything is here. So I'm just going to select the Bitcoin in US dollar, and then the name will be ticker, and then we want to subscribe. So subscribe means you want to have continuous feeding of data from Websocket. So let's come back to our code, and then after that we are going to say websocket.send, and then json.dump subscribe message. Cool. So we have defined our onOpen function, and then the next thing that we want to do is to use the WebSocket client to post this to the WebSocket endpoint. So WebSocket is equal to websocket.websocket app, then socket on opened is equal to on open, and then WebSocket.run forever. So this is just going to run this function forever. So we will continuously to have the Bitcoin streaming data coming in. So go ahead and save this, and then here we are going to real-time tutorial.py. So when you run this, you should see the connection is open message. So now we want to see what are the message coming in, and then we're going to define another function called onMessage. So I'm going to close this first. So we are going to come back to here, and then what we want to do is to define, for example, onMessage. And here message, and then here we are going to define several variables. So the first variable we want to define is the minute process, which is a dictionary, and then minute candlestick, which is array, empty array. So current tick is equal to none, and then previous tick is also equal to none. So and then in this onMessage, we are going to say the global current tick and previous tick, so that in this function we are able to update the two variables that we define outside the function. And then we are going to say previous tick is equal to current tick, and then current tick is equal to json.load message. So when the message is loading in from the WebSocket, we are going to assign it to the current tick, and the current tick will be assigned to the previous tick. So next we want to see what we got from the WebSocket. We can print the current tick to have a look. So here we want to also put on message equal to on message. Save it, and now you can see we have data coming in. So you can see that we have a streaming on data in the JSON format. We have a type, we have a sequence, we get product ID, we also have price, and so on. What we are interested is the price, and also we are interested on the time. So you can see that the time here is actually based on the time zone of UTC plus 0. And if you want to change that, we can use the time delta function later. So for now, we want to extract out the price for every single feed and also the time. So then I'm going to comment this out, and let's print receive tick, and then we're going to print the current tick price at current tick time. So let's save this, and then so we're going to take the current time, current tick time, and then we're going to use the dateutil.parser to pass it from ISO x601 into a date type object. So tick date time object is equal to dateutil.parser.parse current tick time, and then after that we are going to convert the time into the time zone that we are at now. So I'm at UTC plus 8, and by default the time from Coinbase Pro is based on UTC plus 0. So I'm going to say time now is equal to take date time object plus time delta of hours is equal to 8, and after that tick date time is equal to time now dot trf time. I'm going to convert the data object into a string format. So %month slash %day slash %year, and then %hour, %minute, and then lastly we can print the tick date time object dot minute. We can look at minute by minute, and then we can also print the tick date time. So save this, and when you run this, you should see that we have the minute, and then we have the date and hour, and then minute. So the hour has been converted from 9:35 to 8-hour difference, which is 5:35, and now we have data keep coming in from this endpoint. And what we want to do next is to aggregate the data into a minute by minute data, because we don't want to update our Candlestick Chart every time we have this new data feed from the WebSocket. We just want to update it every 1 minute. So we want to aggregate the data into a 1 minute data, and then we want to save it in the CSV file, and then from there we can use our animation function from Matplotlib to access the data in order to plot the chart. And then from here we are going to start to create our so from here we are going to say when there is a message coming in, and then we will check whether this tick date time is in our dictionary or not. If it is not, then we will start a new candlestick. So if not, tick date time in minute process. We are going to print. This is a new candlestick, and then minute process tick net time is equal to true. And then we are going to say that if this array is empty, we are not going to if this minute candlestick is more than 0, means there's something inside. Sorry. Then we are going to use this minute candlestick to append the data from the Websocket. So minute candlestick dot append. So we are going to append the minute, which is a tick time frame, and then the open is equal to the current tick, price, and then the high will be the current tick, price, and then the low will be the current tick, price as well. So why everything will be equal to current tick price? Because when you have a new candlestick, everything is going to be based on the first price. So when you have second price coming in, then we're going to compare whether it's higher than the current price that we have in the candlestick. If it is, then we are going to update the high. If it is lower than the low, then we are going to update the low. So open will be always the first price is coming in. So then we are going to say if length of minutes candlestick is smaller than 0, current candlestick is equal to minute candlestick -1. We take the last one in the minute candlestick array, and then if the current price, if the current tick price is smaller than the current candlestick high, then current candlestick high will be equal to current tick price. So we can copy this and paste here. Then this time we're going to say if this one is lower than the low, then the low will be equal to current tick price. And then we can print the candlestick so we are going to say for the candlestick in minute candlestick print candlestick. Cool. So the next thing that we want to do is to have the cost price for every candlestick, and we are only going to have the close price after the one candlestick in 1 minute is closed. So we are going to say if length of minute candlestick is more than 0, minute candlestick -1 gross will be equal to previous tick price. Cool. So now we can go back and then real-time tutorial.py. So now you will see that we have data coming in. So for every 1 minute, we will have one line of dictionary with open, high, low, and close. As long as we are still in that minute, for example, minute 43, we will not have the closing price. We will only have the open, high, and low. But then when there's new data coming in, it's going to update the high and low, depending whether it's higher than high or lower than low. So now it's just stagnant for a while. So now you can see the price is being stagnant for the moment. But every time if the price is changed, it's going to update the high and low. You can see that now. 64 high changed to 65.65. Cool. So now we have our data feeding in correctly. The next thing that we want to do is to save it into a CSV file, and then we are going to create a plot function with using Matplotlib animation in order to plot this data real time. So I'm going to close. So now we come back to our supply text, and then we are going to say df is equal to pd dot data frame, and then we are going to convert this array into a data frame. But then we are going to take the first data until the second last data, because the last data doesn't have a closing price yet. And then df dot to CSV Bitcoin data tutorial.csv, and then we are going to save this, and then we are going to create a new Python file. Here is where we are going to create our Matplotlib animation function. So for this is very simple. We're going to say import pandas as pd, then we're going to import npl finance as npf, and then import matplotlib dot animation as animation, import datetime, and then from datetime import date and datetime. So then we are going to say fig is equal to npf dot figure, and then the style is Charles, and fig size is equal to 7 by 8, and axis 1 is equal to fig dot add subplot 111. So define animate. So we're going to define a function called animate, and then we're going to say idf is equal to pd.read underscore csv. So we're going to read the CSV file that is created. CSV and index core equal to 0, and then we are going to convert the minute data there into a datetime format, format equal to this one. Okay, then we are going to idf.set index minute in place equal to true, and then x1.clear npf.plot. What we are going to plot? We're going to plot the idf and the axis equal to x1, and then type is equal to candle, and then y label is equal to price in US dollar, and then we're going to call this function any is equal to animation dot func animation fig animate, and then interval is equal to 250 milliseconds. So every 250 milliseconds we are going to call this function, and then npf.show. So now if we check back to our command prompt, we do already have some data. So now if I run this function, npf.show is going to plot, because it's going to read the data from Bitcoin data tutorial, which I believe we should already have some data there, and then it's going to plot. Just go ahead and run that. Cool. So now if I put it side by side, you can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candlestick, and then on this candlestick chart we also have 5 candlestick. So when we have the 6th candlestick, it's going to update this chart. Cool. So now we have a 6th candlestick, and then the candlestick chart is also updated. Cool. So if you like this tutorial, please keep hitting a like button, or if you have any question, feel free to comment below and subscribe to my channel. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video.